as pairs. But the smaller piece, when I split it, I had one really nice piece, and I had this skinny little piece that I didn't know what to do with. And so these two pieces are splits from the same piece of wood. This one's all painted out, and the walnut is inlaid. It's actually like about a 16th inch thick. It's something that we have a lot of leftover milled wood that we get for the models that we build. This piece, like I said, was this nice, shape. And when I had it in the studio, everybody who came in was falling all over the fact that this grain was in, which all the wood has this when I start out. I'm not that interested in the wood grain. I'm not a furniture maker. And that's why the wood grain in most of the pieces is obscured in some way or another. It's either laminated over with something else, or it's painted, or in the case of the big piece down here, it's charred. But with this piece, everybody nagged me to just leave it alone. It's so, so I said, okay, I'll do that for everybody. And so I did this drawing on the piece, which was, the geometry of this drawing was on the piece before I decided to leave it alone. I was going to paint it or char it or do something. And so I said, well, I have to do something, and then it came to me to do these beads on there. And the circle all came from these are beer bottle tops that have been flattened out. So they had that kind of circle design, and they had the little red centers. Yeah. So I played off of that, and so it's Target.
It's very effective. What you did and what you left are perfect.
Oh, thank you.
You skipped over your use of geometry real quickly.
Yeah, I know.
Which one?
For good reason. That's a whole, 15-week course. Which I used to teach.
Did you?
Yes.
Just briefly, did you use some classical formulas, like the golden section or something like that?
Yes, somewhat. Yeah, something like that. But it's layers of diagrams. The diagram evolves, the golden section evolves from a diagram.
Huh, you don't start with it. Yeah,
Well, to get to the golden section, you make a diagram.
Right.
That's how you draw it.
Yeah.
You can measure it and you can calculate it, but I've always drawn these things because I do drawings.
Are you talking about eyeballing things?
No. No, I'm not. Well, actually what happens is you get very good at measuring with your eyes.
Yeah.
And if you can draw a square,
Yes.
that's how they all begin.
Yes.
The circle and the square, and
Actually,
again here you have the circle and the square and the divisions, and and the golden section is evolved from the double square and the diagonal
Right.
double square, but I can draw it for you faster than I can explain it. But yes, that's part of, but it really is more basic. Most people, the golden section is a very interesting diagram to work with. However, you can't force something into a situation. It has to evolve. And the golden section has such specific properties that when you use that, that's what you have, and everything else doesn't matter.
Well, you can disguise it, though. I mean,
Well,
which looks like, in a way, until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Then you look at the proportions of this to that, and I thought, oh, maybe that's a golden section. Or,
well, I don't know. I never. I
Oh, you
didn't
were
plan
talking
it that way.
okay.
I didn't plan it that way, but actually, in some of the drawings I have, and some of it has to do with you know, the piece of wood that I get, and
Yes.
how much room I
Right.
have to work with.
Exactly.
But I am very fussy about the relationships of the proportions of,
Right.
you know, where I make changes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And at some, and how, what's your, some are intuitive decisions about
Okay,
proportions
I
and some
don't
are
think,
formulated?
okay, my philosophy is, it's not really intuitive. I'd have to look up the specific definition of intuitive, but I feel that because our physiology, our bodies, are made up in the proportions of the golden section, okay? Just not, it goes way
No, I
beyond
know, I know.
that.
I mean,
And
that's-
it's
that's where
three-dimensional,
really-
it's not
that's where it's
linear.
really, evident.
Yeah, it's three-dimensional, it's not just linear. And if anybody else is finding ready to fall over because of this conversation, stop me. Because, and so it's part of your makeup, it's in your DNA.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the golden section
It's
too.
being challenged.
And the plan of your DNA
Uh-huh.
is the golden section. Okay,
Maybe.
you can't apply the golden section, you are the golden section. Growth is the golden
Yes,
section,
yes.
you don't apply it. And that was the hardest thing to convince any student. They go, ooh, if I do this and then I force everything in there, it's gonna be wonderful. That isn't true.
Just
So
because
you
the
might
golden
say
section.
it is more intuitive, but you have to
But
become
we're not
aware
gonna use
of
that
it.
word.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Let's not use that word.
I don't think so either, because you have to be educated,
No.
you have to
But
become aware.
intuition, a lot of intuition is living and learning what
That's
works
it,
and what
it's a
doesn't.
result of
Of
many
doing it.
years of
The
study
practice
and
of it,
whatever.
yeah, the practice.
But it's a good word to use as opposed to the rational. I mean, the golden section is definitely rational.
Linda,
And, excuse me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm glad I'm not in your house.
We have these discussions all the time.
I can tell.
No, they're one-way discussions.
I just have one question, artist.
Okay.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Whenever you cut into these things, do you ever find rotten stuff in the middle?
No,
Never?
I usually get clean wood.
Really? You don't ever find rot? I'm just kind of teasing you. I know, I mean,
No.
really,
No,
wouldn't you
none of
think?
these, no.
Yeah.
What, did you
Bugs?
did you find that? Yeah.
Well, you see those dark lines?
Yes,
in
that is a spore.
It's what they call
Word.
spalting,
Yes,
Yeah.
it's,
which
it
is borderline, but prized by bowl
It's beautiful,
turners.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
By ball turners and furniture makers and, you know, people who are working with wood, as the wood is the decorative element. I'm interested in form. The wood is a vehicle for me to make that form. Yes.
I wondered if you would talk about the piece that you said you had charred the wood on.
Yes.
I'm assuming that was one piece of a tree.
Yes.
Or a limb or whatever. And how did you, what led you to twist it? Was there something in the original wood that made you come up with that twisting form and those indentations?
No.
Oh.
That's where the control comes in. And I have a lot of other earlier pieces that have a lot of that form that I've used, and like braiding and twisting, and it's all stuff that I carve into the wood. And I make it do that. It's not naturally like that. It's all very straight, up and down. And that's where it starts with the plan. If you look at the base, you can almost see that plan down there, and then it shifts. And then you just make the connection from here to here. And it just happens.
Now, from all
Yes.
the figurative work that you've done,
Yes,
and I know about Lucy,
yes. This
This
is another
has-
risky
So
man.
much so, yeah, it's a dress, it's a woman's
This
dress.
has a figurative sense to it of
Yeah.
contrapposto.
Yes, yes, and the voluptuous quality of the forms, which are very, female. Yeah, they all are. And actually, the dress is to me, that button piece. I mean, that to me looks like
That's a dress
a
too.
garment.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
yeah,
that.
it really
It's
is.
a wedding dress.
Thank you. There you go. Just have to hang a little veil on there.
Well, I think it's very good that we're together.
Yes, we did
I mean,
work
when,
well together.
yeah, when they sent it off and I looked at your work and I went, oh, I really liked your work a lot. I liked your
Okay.
forms and obviously you technically have skills, which I think is very important these days, to have some skills. If I had a child, I would send them to trade tech school.
Oh, if you could find one. That's the tragedy.
That, I should
of
not have said
what's-
that.
Yeah, I think that's a big tragedy today, that they have devalued technical education.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There are a few wonderful places, but they're very few and far between. I don't want to get into the details of